Hey, what's up, stringlings? Today we're taking a look at my very first review of an acoustic guitar, this one from Moukey. Let's check it out. So as you know, I've been doing a lot of reviews of Donner gear, and Donner actually reached out to me and asked me to do a review of this beginner acoustic. And I thought it was a little bit strange because it's not a Donner instrument, but it turns out it is. Moukey is a sub-brand of Donner, and a lot of Moukey gear is available on the Donner websites. Now, I'm familiar with Moukey through other types of equipment. This mic stand, for example, is a Moukey product. They make electronics and instruments and electronics and interfaces and karaoke machines and that kind of thing. So this is the first time I've had a chance to look at one of their actual instruments. And I have to say, what you get in this package is a really great starting point for a beginner guitarist. Now, this one is billed online as being a 41-inch acoustic guitar for beginners. And that's very critical point because it's not what you would call a super high level instrument in terms of build quality, but when I tell you what this gets you, I think you're going to be really impressed. For starters, this guitar lists on Amazon in Canada for $140.99. Think about that. This is a sub $150 guitar, and it is a full-sized dreadnought with a cutaway. Right away, you can get started playing guitar with very little outlay of cash. The guitar itself, I'll get into the construction shortly, but in the package, they include what we often see nowadays, which is a tuner, a little clip-on tuner, as well as a capo. The capo is a plastic capo. It's not a metal one, but it still works. I've tested it out. It works fine. A bunch of guitar picks, some strings, even a chord chart that you can follow along. And I'll have some pictures of some of these going along with this, as well as, of course, the guitar, and it ships in a gig bag, which is very cool. I think a lot of companies are doing that now, shipping it just in a gig bag. First of all, because you get an extra branded item in the package, but also because it's really handy, right? I mean, you're going to have to buy one anyway. But the fact that you get all of that, tuner, strings, picks, capo, chord chart, and gig bag. Oh, and a strap as well, a nylon strap as well, for under $150 Canadian is just, I mean, it's mind-blowing. I can't imagine that you would get an instrument of any kind of quality for that. And it's fully strung and it's reasonably well set up, but it's a quality instrument. Is it going to go on tour with you 50 years from now, as a concert performer? Who knows? But, to get started, if you're a student, if you're just starting out, you really can't go wrong with this instrument. And I'll just lay down a little bit of what makes this a slightly less expensive instrument. So it does come strung, but the fretwork, for example, they're machine cut. They certainly feel machine cut. You could do with a little bit of rounding on the edges of the frets. It's nothing that will get in your way. It's just a detail piece. Similarly, we've got plastic pieces for the nut and for the pegs for the pins in the bridge. The bridge looks reasonably stable. It doesn't look like it's not pulling off or anything. I mean, it feels like an ebony bridge, but it could be painted. It doesn't matter, right, at this stage. One thing I did not include on this one when I took it out of the package, it comes with an adhesive pick guard, just a thin plastic pick guard that's adhesive and it just sticks on. I don't generally like pick guards on my acoustics anyway, so I just left it off. But it's there if you want it, just an aesthetic detail. And I think these are probably 11 gauge acoustic strings. The guitar itself is very light, even for an acoustic. Acoustic is really just a hollow box made out of wood. And in this case, the wood is actually quite thin. So you do want to be a little bit careful with it, moving it around, but that's part of, one of the cost savings, I guess. It doesn't feel cheap, it's just very light. but I would not want to bang it around too much. The finish on it is very good. It's a very even, clean finish. I caution myself. I have to remind myself that high gloss black guitars fingerprint really easily. So get yourself a good chamois cloth and some guitar polish so that you can keep it shiny if that's the look you're going for. But otherwise, great looking guitar, and it sounds great and it plays great. One of the details that we need to talk about in terms of, I'm just going to click through my notes here a little bit quick so that I find it. Okay, so the body itself, the body and neck are made out of mahogany, which is it is a hardwood, but it's on the softer side as well. So that goes back to what I was saying before about just being careful with it. It is again painted in a high gloss black. Now this is called a dreadnought style guitar, and the dreadnought style guitar has this sort of boxy top end, right, in this big resonating chamber, and that's important because it's designed for strumming, right? So it's designed to give you a really good resonant frequency right across the frequency spectrum. I'll make this up a little bit differently in a minute, but it becomes a loud guitar with a strum. Okay. It's softer with finger picking. That's my bad playing, sorry, because I'm looking at the camera. So it doesn't project the kind of high and mid-range frequencies that you need for finger picking. You can still do it. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying that if you're predominantly a fingerstyle player, a parlor style guitar, which is a little bit rounder on the top here, might be more in line with what you're looking for. But if you are an absolute beginner and you're not sure if you're a fingerstyle player or not, there's absolutely no reason to not get this guitar. The action is pretty good. It's it doesn't need any work. I ran this through a setup check, and the neck is fine. The neck is straight. The action it's a little bit higher than I would want it, but it is totally playable. It doesn't challenge you in terms of the physical aspect of playing the instrument. So a lot of instruments will have a high action, and they're harder to play. They're physically need more muscle in your left hand to make it work. This one, that is not the case. So you can get reasonably good playability. It holds tune fairly well. The tuning machines work just fine. Again, I haven't done a full setup on this. I'm going to. So what you're hearing now is just straight out of the box as it was delivered. And I'm going to give you just a short example of what it sounds like strummed. And then we'll look at some other kind of riffy things that go with it. So let me just re-mic this a little bit. So there's just a little bit of a demo, not a great demo. I'm not a great acoustic player. I think that's pretty obvious. But I think that this 41-inch beginner acoustic from Moukey, like I said, it's $140 Canadian on Amazon. Links down in the description. I have a link for the US site as well. You really cannot go wrong with this. My kid uses this guitar to learn on. So, if that's where you're at in terms of playing, or you just need a really quick, something to get some acoustic riffs down as well. Great guitar to have in your collection. I play this all the time. It's just fun to play. It's not a challenging instrument to play on, like I said, and for the price, you really can't do any better online. So this one does have my recommendation. Just be aware, you're only paying $140. So, you're not going to get a Taylor or a Martin out of it, but you are going to get a really good, solid, playable instrument. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you enjoy this content, please remember to like and subscribe, and do consider becoming a member of the channel. That will help me to push out more of these videos more frequently, and we're going to be back with some pedal reviews coming up very shortly, so stick around. That's going to be a lot of fun. So until then, have a great day.